Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Clarity for Sure once again. So today is another session of SEBI Sprint program. So as you all know, we have already started a new initiative, that is our SEBI Sprint program, where we are covering each and every current affairs. Those are relevant for your SEBI grade A examination. And those who haven't watched our first session of SEBI Sprint program, where we have already covered the September first week current affairs, you can directly go to our description box. There you can find the link of our first session, right? So in this session we will cover September second week current affairs, right? So in this session what we will do is ki first we will try to solve some of the MCQs related to this particular topic, and at the same time I will try to correlate these questions with the topics present here in order to get better understanding of the things. Okay? So these are the topics which we are going to cover in today's session, and as far as this PDF is concerned, we will be providing this PDF to you in our Telegram channel. You can directly go to our Telegram channel and download this PDF for free. Okay? So let's start the session here. Our very first question is related to SEBI eases rules for foreign investors in government bonds. This is the topic first. Okay. So consider the following statements about the fully accessible route. The question is about fully accessible route. The first statement is, it was introduced by SEBI in 2018. It allows non-resident investors to invest in specified government securities without any restrictions. Or FAR aims to attract global capital flows into India's bond market. So these are the three statements and you have to find the correct ones here, right? So first let me show you from where this particular question has been taken from. This is the topic from where this question has been taken from. So the first statement which states ki it was introduced by SEBI in 2018 is absolutely wrong, because it was introduced by RBI, not SEBI, right, in 2020, April 2020. As you can see here, April 2020 it was introduced by RBI, right? Now the second one is, it allows non-resident investors to invest in specified government securities without any restriction. Absolutely correct. Here you can see, permits non-resident investors to invest in specified categories government securities without any restriction. The third statement is, FAR aims to attract global capital flows into India's bond market. Yes, it aimed at attracting global capital flows into India's bond market, right? So your second and third statement is correct, which means your option number B is the correct answer, right? But this was not the right approach to tackle these kind of questions. As you can see, as soon as you mark this option incorrect, you just go to the option. As soon as you mark the statement incorrect, you just go to the options and eliminate all the options which contain the first statement, right? Which means you have left only two statements left, and among these two you have to select the correct option here, right? So this is the current approach to tackle this type of questions in examination. Okay? So here the correct answer will be option number B, 2 and 3 only. Okay? Now let's move on to our question number 2. SEBI approves key reforms in public issues, FPIs and mutual funds. Consider the following statements about anchor investors. The question is about anchor investors. Under the SEBI norms, new SEBI norms, the overall reservation for anchor investor has increased from 33.33% to 40%. Okay? Second statement, 1/3 of the anchor quota is reserved for domestic mutual funds. Third statement, anchor investors can now invest post listing as well, right? These are the three statements, and this is the topic from the from where the question has been taken from, right? So anchor statement, what is an anchor statement? It is an institutional investors, right? They enter the game right before an IPO, that is initial public offering, and they are seen as a booster for companies looking for successful listing. Now, as far as the first statement is concerned, you can see here overall reservation has been raised from 33.33% to 40%, which means your first statement is absolutely correct, right? Second statement, 1/3 of the anchor quota reserved from domestic mutual fund. Yes, 1/3 of reserved for domestic mutual funds, remainder for life insurance and pension funds, which means your second option is also correct, right? The third option statement, anchor investors can now invest post listing as well. There is no any such norms for now, right? Which means your first and second statement is correct. Option number A is your correct answer. Take care? Clear? Now, let's move on to our question number 3. SEBI stresses transparency on family settlements. DFS. Under SEBI's LODR regulation, deeds of family settlements DFS must be approved by shareholders only if they affect shareholdings, disclosed as material information by listed companies, registered with SEBI before implementation, or approved by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, or exempted from public disclosure. These are the 5 options. You guys tell me what will be the correct answer of option question number 3 in the comment box. This is a very simple question, and if you are aware of dates of family settlement, you must be in a better position to answer this particular question. As you can see, what is deeds of family settlement? It is a legal agreement between family members concerning family owned businesses, properties or shares. What is the purpose? What is the aim of this particular settlement? To resolve disputes among family members without litigation, or divide assets, shares or responsibilities among heirs. ठीक है? So the correct answer here will be option number B, disclosed as material information by listed companies. As you can see here, the listed companies must comply with ongoing disclosure and governance norms under SEBI LODR regulation 2015. So this was the question कि under SEBI's LODR regulation, deeds of family settlement must be disclosed as material information by a listed companies. Option number B is your correct answer. Clear? Now, let's directly move on to our next question, that is question number 4. SEBI eases FPI entry with automatic registration window. SEBI eases FPI with automatic registration window. As you can see here, SEBI has approved the introduction of automatic window to simplify the registration process for FPIs. ठीक है? This was there in the news of September 2nd week. So let's see the question first. Consider the following statements. The automatic window applies only to domestic mutual funds. It provides unified access mechanism replacing multiple registration routes. Eligible FPIs must be at least 75% owned by foreign government or regulated entities, right? These are the statements. You have to find out the correct ones here. So as far as the first statement is correct, the automatic window applies only to domestic mutual funds. So there is not any such norms, right? So it means that this statement is absolutely incorrect. It is for all the FPIs. ठीक है? Now, as soon as you mark this option incorrect, you can eliminate these options, which means your third option becomes by default correct. You just have to find out the second option. It provides a unified access mechanism replacing multiple registration routes. Yes, as you can see here, the new framework provides a single registration route replacing multiple existing compliance channels for FPIs, right? Which means your second option is absolutely correct. ठीक है? ठीक है, सेकेंड ऑप्शन इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. योर करेक्ट आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर सी, 2 and 3 only. And as far as this norms is concerned, eligible FEI must be at least 75% owned by foreign government or regulated entities. You can see here 75%. Yes, here is the 75% wala thing, right? FPIs that are at least 75% owned by foreign governments or are regulated in their home jurisdictions can avail this facility, which means obviously your second and third options statements are correct. Option number C is your correct answer. ठीक है. Now next question. SEBI uses rules for privately placed InvITs, REITs and portfolio manager PMS. The minimum allotment size for privately placed InvITs after SEBI's amendment is 10 lakh, 25 lakh, 50 lakh, 1 CR or 5 CR. What will be the correct answer? Under the new norms, the minimum allotment lot size for privately placed InvITs and REITs after SEBI's amendment is what amount? It is 25 lakhs. Option number B. As you can see here, SEBI has notified set of amendments to simplify regulation for InvITs, REITs and PMS. ठीक है, that is portfolio managers. So reduced minimum allotment lot size for privately placed InvITs reduced to 25 lakh. Earlier it was 1 to 25 CR depending on the asset mix, right? So option number B will be your correct answer, right? Let's directly move on to next question. Question number 6. SEBI postpones settlement for cash and SLBM segments. Consider the following statement. SLBM facilities temporary transfer for securities to enhance liquidity and discovery. Let's see. It allows borrowing or for hedging and arbitrage but not for short selling. It is telling ki it is not for short selling, right? The third one is clearing corporations ensure settlement and counterparty risk protection. Yes, counterpart risk protection. These are the three statements. You have to find out the correct ones here. Again, as you can see here, sorry, yeah, securities lending and borrowing mechanism, right? What is it? It is a regulated framework by SEBI and operated through stock exchange to facilitate the temporary, it is for temporary transfer of securities between the investors. Between whom? Between the investors, and it enhances market liquidity, support short selling. It supports short selling and promote efficient price discovery, which means your option number statement number B, which tells ki it allows borrowing for hedging and arbitrage but not for short selling, becomes absolutely incorrect, because this is for short selling only, right? So as soon as you mark this second option incorrect, these three got eliminated by itself. Now you just have to find the third statement, if this statement is correct or not. Clearing corporation ensure settlement and counterparty risk protection, right? So yes, it is there in the, it is clearing corporation ensure settlement and counterparty risk protection. Absolutely correct, absolutely correct. And your first statement is obviously correct. It facilitates temporary transfer for securities to enhance liquidity and price discovery, as we saw here, right? Short selling and promotes efficient price discovery, which means your correct answer will be what? 1 and 3. Option number A. Your second option is absolutely wrong. Okay, so that's it for this this question. Let's move on to our next question. Question number 7. SAT, Securities Appellate Tribunal, functions under which of the legal provision? Section 11C of SEBI Act, Section 15K of SEBI Act 1992, or Section 12A of Companies Act, or Section 24B of PMLA, or none of these, or none of the above, whatever you say. Right. So let me show you one thing. What is this Securities Appellate Tribunal? It is a quasi-judicial body in India, right, that adjudicates disputes and appeals arising from decisions of the SEBI, ADAI and the PFRDA, right. It was established, constituted under Section 50K of SEBI Act of 1992. Let's find out where the option was. Yes, 15K of SEBI Act 1992. Option number B is your correct answer. Clear? Baki ka thing there, everything is there in the PDF. You just need to go once, right, in order to get a brief about what is going on in the current affairs, right. Now, last but not the least, SEBI pushes capital market reforms. Which changes was introduced by SEBI to make REITs more attractive for mutual fund investment? Classifying REITs as debt instrument, restricting institutional participation, or removing liquidity requirements, or classifying REITs as equity instruments, not as debt instruments, increasing exit load. These are the 5 options, and this was the news from where this news has been taken from. Yes, SEBI pushes capital market reforms to enhance debt and investors participation, and the correct answer of this question will be classifying REITs as equity instruments, not the debt instruments. Option number D is your correct answer. And that's it for the session, right, that's it for the session. And here is our SEBI Sprint Mentorship Program. If you want to enhance your preparation of SEBI Grade A, you can directly join our SEBI Mentorship Sprint Mentorship Program by going to our website, that is www.c4scourses.in, right, and there you can directly enroll in our mentorship program. So that's it for the session. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, do subscribe our YouTube channel, follow us on Telegram and Instagram as well for daily updates. Thank you so much.